Vegas right now, it's definitely, you meet people every single day that are trying to get in. And I was in their shoes 7 years ago, sitting in Thomas and Mack, trying to talk to people and, build a relationship with people. And, the one thing you got to appreciate is patience. It's not going to happen overnight. The other part that I would touch on is that you only need one team to take a chance on you. I took that Orlando Magic rejection pretty hard, thinking that I'd never get a chance. But then, I thought there's 29 other teams. I just need one to give me a chance. Dutch Gaitley with the Charlotte Hornets. Grew up in Philadelphia, played basketball, played in college in New Jersey, then came back and finished playing college for Temple University. Philly guy through and through. My mom is a longtime head coach, Division I, 500 victories in the Villanova Hall of Fame. She's the player and the coach of the family. I'm trying to follow her footsteps. My dad was her assistant. My little brother is an intern for the Miami Heat. My other little brother plays at Richmond University. So it's a full basketball family. Probably my earliest basketball memory was my mom's team being in the conference championship. And I was probably like 6 or 7. I wasn't playing, but they shaved her team's logo in the back of my head. The nun in first grade wasn't a big fan of that the next day at school, so she sent me home. But that was probably one of my earliest memories. A lot of other kids are eating dinner at the dinner table. Ours are on the couch in front of the TV, watching film. I spent a lot of early mornings, sleeping on different blocking dummies and different stuff like that on the court. So it was a lot different than a lot of other families, but great. I loved it. It was amazing. Some friends of mine, some mentors said that, I could just go into the women's field and, coach there, but I didn't want to, go in that. That's her thing. I wanted to start my own, but I always wanted to work in college. And, that was my dream. My mom did it, dad did it. So I would work college camps, try to build as many contacts as possible. And then when I finished up my master's, there were no real jobs available. So I started sending my resume to NBA teams. And thankfully, at that point, it got passed around. I got an interview with the Magic, and I had no idea at that time what the video room even was. And I got an interview. Unfortunately, I did not get the job, but that, whetted my appetite to start off and, get the ball rolling. I then took a job at Lehigh University as a volunteer. And that first day was like, this is what I want to do. And I sacrificed the whole entire year of going unpaid at Lehigh. And I was away from Philadelphia, away from family, friends, and it taught me work ethic, and it taught me what it took to take that next step. And then it definitely helped me get my first job in San Antonio. My first year I was with the Spurs when we won the championship. So that obviously was, a great success, and just being able to be even the most minuscule part of an NBA championship team was an amazing, amazing accomplishment. I think, especially starting off in the video room, there's so many long hours and there's so much work that you're doing that a lot of it just gets thrown out. And there was one instance where, we did a playoff prep and you do so much stuff, and a guy said, I knew he was going to this move because of the film that we watched. And just hearing those little things are that makes a video guy's dream. And I think the other part is the wins. Obviously the championship's great, but the relationships that you build, you see guys around that they had a big impact on my life. I don't know how much of an impact I had on theirs, but then you see them and they embrace you, and they asking questions about your family, just those little things that they still remember who you are. Because in a video room, you're just there, you're quiet, you're there to help, be seen but not heard. And for them to, remember you and remember your story, that is probably one of the biggest things. I thought when I first left Temple University and I went to, Lehigh, and I played, you play college and you play for a great coach and you grow up in a basketball family, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think I knew what I was talking about. And then when I got to San Antonio, I realized that I had no idea what I was doing. Basically, it was like I was in my first year in San Antonio, I was in a library and I was just grabbing every single book, but I had no time to read any of them. So pop and everybody's throwing out terms and I have no idea what's going on. So I think being comfortable admitting that I don't have, didn't know what I was doing, and then learning and being comfortable, then we feel confident, and asking questions. Well, why are we doing this way? A lot of people talk about assistant coaches, especially. You don't want yes men. You don't want guys that are just going to build a head coach's ego. I think building that confidence in myself, whether it be through watching film or working with players and creating my own identity, to then say to a coach, okay, I know your opinion, but why are we doing it that way? And ask those questions so that, you're pushing your head coach or your other assistants. That was the biggest part, of leaving San Antonio. It was obviously tough, and, it's like the nest. Like, you never want to leave. You feel comfortable there. You don't want to leave home, but being able to branch out and feel comfortable to leave and go with a new staff and meet new people and bounce off ideas off other people, that's probably been one of my biggest growths, is learning from all these new coaches. So I obviously have the San Antonio family that I've learned from, but I'm taking what they've taught me and brought it to Charlotte, and hopefully learning from those other coaches.